with that as well. But when we hear lots of information around the product, sometimes we are not aware about the basics or essential things which are required to start with Copilot space. So today I'm just going to talk about most of the things maybe you have seen somewhere in some demos or all, but today we are going to talk about very basic things like if I'm very new into this Copilot Studio space, then what are the things which I should know before I get started? Some of the terminology, like, okay, what kind of use cases you can build up with that, or what is called as a knowledge or topic into the Copilot Studio, or let's say if you want to build some Copilot with some sort of external website, or let's say if you have Dataverse database and from that you want to build something using Copilot, how you can do that. Mainly, it is like a more developer friendly session, I can say. We will build some chatbot on the fly itself, and it is very easy to configure the stuff over here. So we'll go with that. And at the end, we will talk about the Copilot licensing as well, like how it works and what things you can do over there. Okay, so without further delay, let's get started. So, uh, my introduction already Golak speak about me. So I'm Microsoft MVP and MCT, and basically these are my social media handles. Specifically, the I provided Insta and Twitter handle over here, which is X at this moment. So just ignore the older image, and basically this is a shortcut link which you can use it if you just wanted to follow me on all the other social media handles which I do have over here. So yeah, without talking more about me, let's get started. So first of all, let me talk about what is Copilot Studio and what exactly it offers to us. Okay, so without going more into the slide part, I have slide as well, but I directly want to go with the studio itself to explain what Copilot Studio is offering to you. So basically, if you just want to open your Microsoft Copilot Studio, so you just need to use the URL copilotstudio.microsoft.com. Earlier, the same product was called as a Power Virtual Agent. So if you have created any particular chatbot earlier, they are still appearing under the same Copilot Studio, and you can clearly see those earlier creation boards as well in the same Copilot Studio. So basically, it's a revamping of entire Power Virtual Agents that we were calling around a year ago. Okay, so let's see what exactly it offers and what kind of things which you can do with the help of Copilot Studio. So Copilot Studio is nothing but it provide you the graphical and low code interface for including any kind of automation. Like let's say for an example, you have some Dataverse table, or let's say if you have SharePoint site, or let's say if you have SharePoint document library where some of the document content is being uploaded. Now we are living in an era like we are just not limited to the Microsoft search or maybe any kind of normal search features that we were traditionally using, right? So people are nowadays more looking for self-generated, and it's a time of all the generative AI and all the kind of stuff which is supporting the natural language. I can ask anything, it should respond something. Simple use cases is that. But what else we can do here? So in Copilot Studio, there is a concept called agent. So let's try to understand what this agent, what do we mean by this particular agent? Okay, and again in this Ignite, there is a highlight in the keynote itself. The biggest word was Copilot is a new UI for AI. New UI for AI, which means that new user interface for AI based technology. Okay, and which is true in the sense like uh, obviously like you have a data behind the scene, but you need to provide some sort of front end, or you need to provide some sort of user interface using which you can ask the prompt and Copilot can respond according to that. So it's an entry point to grab the or it's an entry point to use the generative AI as much as you can, and from LLM or any kind of model that you have trained behind the scene, based on that it can provide you the answers. Okay, so Let's see like what change in the Copilot Studio since years. So over here in Copilot Studio, basically you have home section where you can see the all the chatbots that you have. Apart from that, it is providing you some out of the box agent itself. So if you look at the see more option, so this is like I mean, ready-made agents which are created by Power Virtual Agent by default. So same like you know how you are able to see in your Power Apps and Power Automate some sort of template which you can plug and play simply. Right. So let's say if you just want like travel related agent, you want to build it out, you can use this thing. And when you just use it, it will just show you that, okay, what exactly the name of your chatbot and what it provide as an information, and it will just like it is already configured with one of the travel website as well, which is an external website. Even if you open that, it is opening the travel state government website over here of USA. But similar way you can configure the other website as well if you want. So it will just give you an overall idea that, okay, these are some ready-made chatbot options available as well, which you can plug and play for yourself. Again, it supports many languages as well at this moment, generative AI. So even if you look at here, so this is in English, but apart from English, it supports so many other languages as well. So it's again a plus one. So if you want to build your chatbot in your own native language, you can build up that as well with the content you supply over there. Okay. Now, let me talk about what's the general meaning of agent and what it can do for you. So, the literal meaning of agent is you supply the information. Okay, like you train your agent via some sort of knowledge. You feed the information into it, and your agent will do the extraordinary work to grab the information that exactly you are looking for with AI and natural language. Okay, so let's get started by talking about some use cases around agent, like what kind of agents you will able to create. So an agent is a powerful AI companion that can handle a range of interaction and tasks, from resolving issue to handling complex conversation, and take an action based on the instruction and context you are giving to it. So agent coordinate to a collection of language models along with the instruction, sources, topics, actions, or any kind of trigger you provide to it. Okay, so let me give you some sort of example or use case where this agent can be helpful to you. So sometimes you have a requirement for any kind of sales help or support issue. Okay, your agent can help you on that part. I mean, you can basically simply train your sales document. You can ask the question, it will answer that. Sometimes you have some sort of data stored like opening hour or store information for entire, let's say, Singapore region. There are many different brands available, so what are their opening hours store information? It's stored somewhere, and from there if someone is asking store helper, it will just give you that information. We will do the similar example into today's class as well. Apart from that, any kind of health and vacation benefit, or again, it is like your HR kind of policy, HR agent, you can also say. Even you can do some sort of bank balance checker agent as well for yourself. So let's say in your company, everyone or maybe everyone has some sort of balance to be appear for in their saving bank as a saving account, or maybe as their current account. And let's say if you provide your customer number, and it will just give you the detailing that, okay, this much balance you have opened your account at this date. You know how you can do that kind of activity. You can just create this kind of copilot chatbot, and that makes life much more simpler. Okay, so different use cases are there. Even IT help desk systems you can build up, and nowadays it is also supporting like audio capability as well within the agent, which is again a plus one. Okay, so let's start with the first simple use case, and we will create our first agent chatbot. So for that, what kind of example I have, let me just tell you first. So let me just open up one public facing site over here. Just give me a minute. So this is one of the public facing website of Atlanta government, which is in the one of the city in the USA. So what happened here is they have this whole site, and they are having the different information over here. Like, okay, uh, they offer different services. Like over here, one of the part is like park and recreation. So this will give you some guidance around that. Okay, how many parks you have, how many kind of swimming pool available throughout the city, okay, or how many kind of activities they are doing. Okay, all this information are there into the website. Okay, residence information, visitor information. Okay, even it will provide you the city directory as well over here. So everywhere, everything is there into this particular website. Now the thing is that as we can build a chatbot around by training this particular website over here. So we just train our model based on the this endpoint, and what this generative AI will do is what question you will ask to it, it will just answer in a very natural language. Along with that, it will also offer you some references as well. So if you click on any of the references, it will redirect to appropriate page as well over here on the website. So to do this, how can we get started? That's what we are going to talk about today. And second use case I have is not public internet. Let's say if you have secure database like Dataverse, okay, and that you have already stored your data over there, and from that data you want to build some sort of chatbot to answer, then how can you create that? Both the things we will talk about in next 20-30 minutes. Okay, it's very easy. Within 15-30 minutes, you will be ready with your chatbot. It's not like so much hard thing and all. And even the experience has become now more better compared to the earlier one. Okay, so let's get started. So, first of all, to start with the agent creation process, again, agent is again a new name. Earlier, we were telling it as a bot, a chatbot, or that kind of word. Now we have a dedicated word called agent. So it's not just answering the question, but it can also automate your task as well with action, plugin, and those concept in the Copilot Studio. Okay, so let's say I'm clicking on new agent over here. So, first of all, it is providing you this kind of option to you to start configuring the agent. But as I said, as a developer, we are not just using like, okay, prompt to create a chatbot. We'll simply go to configure. We in here we can simply configure our chatbot. So let's say I'm just providing the name of my agent as Singapore user group Atlanta agent. Okay. And then you can provide some sort of description over here to just describe that what your agent should help you with. Okay, so I can just provide some sort of description like this chatbot will give the information about the government services offered by Atlanta State. So let me just provide this kind of instruction over here. Like, okay, this chatbot, this agent gives the information about all the government service offered by Atlanta State. Okay, and you can provide some instruction as well to your chatbot that okay, uh, instruction in the sense like give the answer in the simple language. Do not use uh, any legal or political references or political word, or use a simple English language as much as possible, and don't use any kind of legal jargon and all, right? This kind of instruction we can provide it to you over here. Like what will be the tone of your agent? Okay, so I'm just providing some sort of sentences over here like okay, give answers in simple language. The end user is normal citizen and not having any knowledge of political words. Use English language as much as possible. Don't use legal jargon. Okay, you can just provide this kind of instruction to your agent. So at least your agent will know that okay, how to answer your stuff. Okay. So As soon as you start adding these things, you can see over here as well, you will be able to see the different point taken by this particular agent over here. Okay. And as I said, multiple languages are also supported. Okay. But here we are focusing on English only. But let's say if you have some other references, it will support that as well. Okay. I'm clicking on cancel. And over here, there is one more terminology come up into picture, which is knowledge. Okay. So what is knowledge for any agent or any co-pilot? Okay, so a knowledge is a data or a file or other resources that agent can use to learn, and based on that it will respond you with the answers. Okay, and to provide the knowledge we simply need to click on this add knowledge option over here. So let's click on that. As soon as you do that activity, here at this moment, you will be able to see three options: public website, SharePoint, and Dataverse. Okay. By default, it is showing you only this. Okay. Apart from that, you can connect with other connectors as well. Let's see. So over here, you can see you can connect like Microsoft Fabric. So if you have something in the Fabric side, you can connect that as well. Or let's say for an example, if you have some other data sources like Azure SQL and all, or even if you have custom connector, you will be able to connect with that as well. Okay, so let's just focus right now on the public facing website at this moment, but we will talk about other data sources soon over here. Okay, so let me just pick up public website from here. So I'm just selecting this. As soon as you do this, here you need to provide one public facing link. So what I'm doing here is let's provide this homepage URL over here. So I'm copying this and I'm just going over here. Let's paste it out. Okay. And then let's add that. As soon as you add that, it will just ask you like, okay, what will be the name of the website and description. So let's make it like a, uh, let's just make it like proper description over here. So I'm just providing like the information about the Atlanta city offered by their government. And like it is also showing you that, okay, are you owner of this website? So you can confirm it via this website ownership. Okay. So confirm that your organization owns the website, which will be used to enable Bing search result. Okay, it's just showing you that stuff over here. Now, what this ownership mean by knowledge source overview, and when you look at this particular stuff, okay, public website, okay, so mostly it is like a external facing website, okay, and basically what it do is searches the query input on the Bing and return the result from the provided website, okay, and what happened here is it also identify that it just tell you that, okay, just confirm it your whether your organization own this website or not. Okay, so I mean, if I untick this option, which means that, okay, it's something from the public internet which you are referring over here. But let's say on the same public interface, if I have my own company website and which I owns that, I can just make sure I can confirm it over here. Okay, so it's just an external website, so we don't need to worry about anything here and click on add simply. Okay, so we just knowledge source has been added over here. So we are providing this and then click on create. So it started creating this agent over here. So let it to be done. And it is created. Let's wait for it to load this result over here. Okay, it's ready. Now, the thing is that once your model is trained or once your agent is trained, basically you need to just check here that, okay, your knowledge is public website and right now the status is ready. Okay, 14 seconds ago, I just provided it over here. All right. Now, one thing you need to do here, like you need to go to the topic section. Now, what is topic? So topic is like triggering point of your chatbots. Okay. So there are two type of topics available: custom topic and system topics. Okay, system topic means system generated topics, and custom topic means you can create your own custom topic over here. Now, what do we mean by topic? Let's try to understand that. So let's say I'm printing hello. So you know how your chatbot is showing you greeting message. So it is a topic. So over here you just provide the maximum capability that what kind of thing person can enter, like hi, good morning, good afternoon, and then what kind of message you wanted to show here, so you can print it over here. Okay, so maximum number of possibility of what your user can ask, that's something you can add in your topics over here. Okay, nowadays, in the world of Power Virtual Agent, we were creating many topics, to support our need or support our requirement. But nowadays, it's more like a AI and generative AI based. So, even most of the answers, if it is taken from generative AI, it is just using the system topics. You don't need to even create, lots of topic for your chatbot nowadays. Okay, so that is again another good improvement which is done with the agents. So let's say here I'm again going to the topic section. We are not going to create any kind of custom topic here. We'll just use system topic. And in system topic, one of the topic is conversational boosting topic. Okay, let's click on that because this is the place where we need to enable that website that we have configured over here. Okay, so once you open that, it will show you this kind of UI, and there is one node available over here called create generative answer. And in that, you have data sources section. Okay, here you need to click on edit and need to make sure that it is point to the right data source. Okay, so right now you can see here, like it is showing you that okay, allow AI to use its own general knowledge. So what exactly this general knowledge do is, it just search on the public internet and it just answers, you know accordingly. But we don't want to use this one because we don't want our chatbot to go to any unknown sources which we haven't supplied for its training. Okay, otherwise, if I search for Atlanta on anything, it just go to any other, if this government website don't have the answer, probably it will go to another big search result and it will give you the result. But I don't want that. So I can turn it off. And what I can do is I can use only the data sources which I train. So I can click on search, and this is the website which I provided to the source. So use only this source for your result. Don't go here and there to search any kind of result. Okay, that's the necessity condition I want to apply here. Okay, so I selected only this one over here. Okay, and then I just don't want to do any other configuration over here, and let's click on save over here simply. So you can see the topic is being saved perfectly. Okay, now, at this point, let's publish the chatbot to make sure that all the changes are reflected once you taste it. Okay, so I'm just publishing my chatbot over here. Click on publish button. It's being publishing. Let's wait for a moment. This is again will take some time when you are doing for the very first time for any new agent. So let's wait for it to publish. It's published, right? And let's see. It is just saying that okay, your agent was published and your user will see the new content soon. Okay, let's see now what kind of tasting I can do with this one. Okay, so on this side, let's go to the overview tab, and on the right hand side you can see taste your agent. Okay, I just want debug mode also on, activity map on, and text mode as well on. Okay, and you can track in between the topics as well. I just make sure I just turn it on. Okay, and let's taste this out. So let me ask some question, and even I'm not confident at this moment that okay, whatever I will ask, whether it will give me 100% result right now at a moment or not. Okay, because sometimes what happen here is if your website length is high, okay, if it is a big website, okay, it will take some time in order to train this particular agent. Okay, so let's see, let's try our best. So let me ask something around some question to the chatbot. Okay, and we will verify against this website as well. Okay, so let's say this is one of the park section over here. Okay, and here I can see the parks and recreation map and this kind of information. Okay, so let me just ask some of the question like this. I'm just going over here and let me ask this question like, how many parks are there in Atlanta? Okay, let me ask that. So I'm just typing a question here for the testing purpose. Like, how many parks are there in Atlanta? This is what I'm entering. Let's see whether it's able to answer it right away or will it take some time. Okay, if it is taking some time, I already trained one chatbot, one agent earlier itself. We will use that. But let's see. I'm just clicking on that and let's see what it come up with. Okay, let's see. Yep. See. So what it give me as an answer that okay, the exact number of park in Atlanta not provided in the available information. However, the document list numerous park indicating there are many park in the city and it just provided me the reference. Okay, like this. Let's click on that and let's see where I redirected with. So yes, list of park, which is absolutely correct information, right? But here again, it's an HTML format of table. So it didn't able to count that out that how many parks are there, but it just give you the generic reference that okay, you have this many of parks, you can just go here and check it out. Okay, and it provided another reference link as well. It's the same, okay, which is showing to you over here. Okay, looks good. Let me ask one more. Okay, let me ask some specific park address and let me ask it when it is open. Okay, so let me ask one question over here like this. Please send me the address for Adams Park Recreation Center and when it is open. Okay, let's see if he's able to answer it or not. Okay, so it will start looking at the content and let's see what it come up with. Okay, yes, it come up with the result which is fair, perfect. See, the address for this recreation center is this one and the opening time is 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday, uh, 10 to 8 p.m. and Saturday is 10 to 2 p.m. Okay, and it gives the reference link as well. So let's say I'm clicking on here. Okay, and yeah, this is what it is. Adams Park Recreation Center. Okay, Monday to Friday 10 to 8 and 10 to 2, which is absolutely perfect. And see, it giving you the answer like just like a human. Okay, so perfect answer. Impressed. Now let's talk about some more. Again, the quality is still very good here, right? It's a big website. We trained it and perfectly giving the answer. Okay. Now let's say I want to know something like, okay, any kind of activity related, uh, aquatic activity happening in the city, like swimming pool and all, right? Let me ask it. So I'm just asking like this. Any activities any aquatic activities available in the city? So yes, it is saying that yes, there are aquatic activities available in the Atlanta. The city of Atlanta's offices recreation provides the quality recreational facility and affordable activities and just provide this information and it provide the reference as well. Let's see all these aquatic activities. See, so we just train the root side and you know how beautifully it answers you over here. Okay, now let's say I want to know like any kind of golf activities happening in the city. So maybe you can just search for like that. Okay, let me ask here like any kind of golf activities in Atlanta. Let's see what it come up with. And here we are. It says that yeah, the available document do not mention any specific golf activities. However, the office various senior programs, I think it is not like the one which I'm looking for, but let's click on the link to see whether it's really offering it. I don't think so. It is related anything to golf. So I think this answer is not the one that I'm looking for. Okay, so maybe I can rate this answer as well. Like you can always, like, if you're not happy with the answers, maybe you can just downvote over here as well. So at least your, behind the scene, the analytics are captured. It will at least give you that insight that, okay, this generative AI is something really doing wrong. Okay, so I don't think so. This is the answer which is related anything to golf. Let me change the question a little bit. Golf activity. Let me just search like this and let's see what I'm coming up with. Any kind of golf information it provides me or not. Okay, no, it's still giving me the same answer. So let's just park it. And let me just provide like, okay, any kind of city hall information. So let me just ask it like this. City hall information. And yeah, the City Hall Tower in Atlanta was constructed in this, and it is city's third city hall. It just provides this information which looks good. And if I go clicking on that, yes, city hall information it is providing to me. So yeah, it is good and all the informations are there. Or let's see, if you want to find out any public contact or something over here, you can ask that as well. So this is how with public facing model you can train your chatbot and it is just answering you in a natural language. Okay, so this is all about public facing. But what about if you have private and confidential data and you want to build some agent based on that? How can you do that activity? Okay, does it support at this moment or not? Let's have a quick look around that as well. So let's create another chatbot. So first chatbot is this one which I wanted to create here. Okay, second chatbot, let me give you the context around that first. Okay, so I'm just closing this all unwanted tabs from my screen and let me just go to the home page over here. And now let me talk about one of the Dataverse table I do have here. So let me just open that up and let me just show you the data first. So over here, you can see I have one Dataverse table, which is like a bank balance checker table. Okay. And over here, I do have like account opening date, whether the account is active or inactive, what is the balance in the account. Okay. And what is the customer name. Okay. Apart from that, I do have some sort of customer number as well. Okay. Let me just show it to you here. So I do have this customer number as well. Okay. And based on that, I created already one view. Let me show you. Active balance checker. This is the view I created. Like customer, when it was created, when account was opened, what's the active bank balance, what's the account status, what's the customer type, and what's the customer number. So over here I can see some accounts are active, some are inactive. Some customer are high valued, medium valued, and low valued. Again, it depend on what kind of balances they have. Like if they are having more than 50K in their bank balance, then maybe high valued customer, or maybe in between 10 to 50, 20 to 30, then it is mid level, or maybe less than 10 low valued. Okay, they just have this kind of data points in the Dataverse table. Now using this particular Dataverse table, we want to train our model and you can ask any question to it like, okay, uh, tell me from this thing, like how high value customer or how many low value customer I do have, and who has the highest balance or who has the lowest balance, or let's say my account number is this one, can you provide me this information? Okay, this kind of thing I wanted to build up for myself. But again, it's from Dataverse, and again it's from the authenticated data source. Okay, so how to do this activity? Let's have a look. So first of all, you need to do one thing here. Let me go to the create agent option, create and new agent. Okay. And again, let me talk about one more thing here. Make sure that whatever column that your agent wanted to look at from your data source, they are available in the view. Okay, let's say in your view or in your Dataverse table, the view is not configured properly or that column is not available in the view, then probably it will not give you the exact result. And second important thing here as well, primary key of the table is also very important. So make sure that primary key is properly set up on the Dataverse table level to get the better result with the Dataverse chatbot. Now, let's get started. So what I'm doing right now is I'm starting creating a agent. So I'm just clicking on skip to configure. And first of all, let me provide the name of the agent. So I'm providing agent Singapore user group balance checker. Okay. And provide the description that, okay, what your chatbot will do. Okay. So I'm just giving some sort of instruction to my agent over here like this way. Just give me a minute. Let me copy paste this information which I already did here. Just give me a minute. Okay, I'm just giving some sort of description that, okay, you are acting as a bank staff and you need to answer the bank employee for their balances and any other information if required. So I'm just giving this kind of description to it that, okay, act as a bank staff or answer to the bank employer customer for their balances and the information they are asking for. And I'm just providing some instruction that, okay, use normal language tone. Don't use some hard term which are difficult to understand. Okay, normal language. I'm just saying I'm not giving any other instruction to it. Okay, and let's click on create. Over here, there is an option to configure a knowledge. Okay, but here you can see Dataverse is grayed out. Okay, so let's just park it at this option. Let's create it first. Okay, so first set it up your agent. So I set that up, and now I need to train my agent with the Dataverse table. For that, I'll go here into my knowledge. Okay. And there is an option to add a knowledge. And over here, this Dataverse option is available. Okay. Earlier on that particular part, when we started with, it was not available, but here it's available. And even if you go to advanced one, these all are available here. So if you want to connect any of this knowledge as well, it is available perfectly. Okay, so what I'm doing, I'm selecting Dataverse. In Dataverse, the first step is you need to select your Dataverse table first. Okay, so I'm selecting my Dataverse table called balance checker. Okay, let me search for the table balance bank balance checker. Yes, this is what it is. Click on next. And over here, it will show you the preview of your data. So it is the same view which you have configured over there. Okay. So basically it will show you that preview of your data. Okay. Click on next. Over here in the third step, basically you just need to provide some sort of synonyms or acronyms over here. Okay, so it is again like if you are aware about the Q&A visualization in the Power BI, right? How we are training our Q&A visual in Power BI, like we are providing some synonyms terms or acronyms so that it understand that natural language part. So you can supply it over here. Okay, so let's say here I'm doing few of the stuff. So let's say for an example, I can turn on this synonyms option, click on edit. So over here it will showing you the different date, status, okay, active balances, this kind of columns it will show you. All the columns from your table you will be able to see here. Okay. Now here you can provide some alternate synonyms as well over here. Okay. So let's say for an example, over here you selected this particular table, right? And now if you just want to have any kind of synonyms over here, right? Like account opening date. So I'm just providing here some synonyms that, okay, it can be like it can be anything like, okay, account opening date, or maybe some people can ask like this as well, like account start date. Okay. Or maybe uh, account, when account is opened. Okay, you can add this kind of synonyms as well. So, your co-pilot will at least get to know that, okay, from this column, uh, user, I mean, the co-pilot or agent need to answer it. Okay, then you can provide some description as well over here. Okay, so basically I'm providing, okay, it is the date when bank account for the customer is opened. Okay, you can provide this kind of description. Okay, it is helpful for your agent to make the decision that against which column it need to query and give you the proper result, quality result. Okay, and for better quality result, it is good that you apply the synonyms and description over here because it's must. Okay, then account status. Okay, maybe account status, I mean, in natural language sometimes people are saying that, okay, account is active or inactive, right? Or whether active or inactive account details, it can ask anything, right? So maybe you can just think about that and you can add some synonyms. Okay, so active and inactive account and all, and maybe I can just provide some sort of description over here like, okay, shows if account is open or inactive or something like that. And maybe active balances, so maybe I can just tell that, okay, check the balance of the bank account. Basically this column is doing that activity. Okay, similar way you need to train your other column as well. It's the name of the customer, it's the name of the customer name. Okay, I'm not doing it for everywhere over here just for time purpose, but for a better result it's good that you apply synonyms and description over here. Let's go back. And then there is one more option as well available to create some sort of glossary. Okay, so let's say for an example, uh, you want to build, I mean, you can enhance your agent's understanding and responses by domain specific terms and synonyms. So let's say for an example, in finance we know that there are so many terms available, right? Like let's say uh, you have like account start date and account end date. Okay, or maybe let's say you are building some tracking system where ticket has been started but it's not resolved yet, right? And maybe you just want to train the model that, okay, in case if ticket is open and it is not yeah, and the end date is blank, then you need to consider it as an incomplete one. So those kind of data glossary you can apply. Or sometimes let's say you have a temperature kind of agent which is telling you that, okay, whether the temperature is hot, cool or medium. Okay, and in your database you have a temperature column called Fahrenheit, and you want to make a range like, okay, if my Fahrenheit is in between this and this, then it is considered as a hottest temperature, or this is as a coolest temperature. So this kind of glossary you can build it up for yourself. Okay, so now right now I'm not building any kind of glossary because I don't have any such hard term over here. Okay, so I'm just keeping it as is. Oh shit, I click on cancel. Maybe I need to do this again. Just give me a minute, I'm quickly doing that again. Next. Okay, I just lose my this thing. So let me just add that again quickly here, and then we can simply click on back over here instead of simply close here. Okay, remember one thing, because I don't have autosave feature at this moment. Okay, so I'm just wanted to quickly do this, add and start date. Okay, done. And I'm just doing something for here as well. Account opening date, account start date, we can tell anything, and maybe we can just provide some description here for the column, and over here we can just provide this, and over here like check balance. Okay, and then you slowly need to click on back button. Don't do this kind of mistake that I did. Okay, and glossary I don't want to do it, that's fine. Let's click on add. So basically it will finish that knowledge. Okay, let's see. Let's add this all and let's see what it come up with. Okay, again, we'll take some time in order to load the table. I have around 100 records at this moment. And you can see here it is. Your knowledge is added and you can see the status is ready. So which is perfect, right? Now, what we need to do here is simply need to check whether it's working fine or not. And for that, before doing that, we need to go to the topics and system topics and make sure that Dataverse is connected here. So let's go to conversational boosting. And over here in the data source, make sure that you turn off this public internet data source. I mean, we don't want AI to get any answer. We want to get the specific source only. So this Dataverse table only it need to look at to answer the question. Okay, let's save it and then don't forget to publish it. Okay, so I'm just publishing this boat. Again, I'm using the word boat many times, but yeah, the word is renamed now as agent. Okay, so make sure now we will tell this as an agent. So we are just publishing our agent and now it will be backed by our actual data source, which is data source. Again, like this is something which I love the most because earlier with Power Virtual Agent and all, we don't have such capability where, we can train our model just like any kind of data source like uh, SharePoint or Dataverse. Now we at least have that capability, which is good. So we are ready. Okay, so now let's get started and testing the things. And let's see whether it's giving the answers properly or not. Okay, again, as I saying, like sometimes wait for sometimes after you publish your model as well, because behind the scenes some sort of processing are happening and sometimes it is taking some time to get the proper result. Okay, so let's try it if it is working or not, because for Atlanta it was working fine. So over here I believe it should work fine as well, but let's see. Okay, so let me start testing over here. So I'm just start asking some of the question over here. Like, let me ask first question. Like, okay, how many total active accounts you have? Okay, let me ask that. So I'm start typing a question over here as a chatbot, and let me zoom in a little bit so everyone can see it clearly. Okay, so I'm just asking here a question that okay, how many active accounts are there? Okay, and let's see what it come up with an answer. Okay, let's see. It goes to generative AI, it goes to the data source and it will answer now. Let's see. See, what it is saying to me is you have a total 29 active accounts. It gives the perfect answer over here. Okay, let's verify that. So over here, it provided you the reference as well. Let's click on the reference. And if you look at the reference, it is by default navigating you to the Dataverse view. Okay, so this is the view of the Dataverse where it redirected with. Okay, and what you need to do here is you can manually verify that as well. Like, okay, active one, just check it out. How many are there? Okay, so it is 29. See in the result at the very bottom, 29. All right, let's see the answer, and which is absolutely perfect, and it give you the perfect result over here. Okay. Let me ask one more question here. Like, how many accounts are opened in this year? Okay, I want to ask this and let's see what it come up with. Because I want to see like in 2024, are there any new account opened or not? Okay, so I'm just asking this question and let's see what it is come up with an answer. So see, this is the answer. There have been no accounts opened this year, which is sad, right? And it is giving you this reference. Let's verify because obviously, like to trust the result, we need to verify against the data. So see, this is the column. We trained that account opening date. Okay, let's see if on this page, at least I can't see anywhere in 2024. Correct? Okay. Even here as well, I can't see any data over here. Okay. And I did this data entry. So I know that intentionally I didn't added any data for 2024 account opening. And it is giving the perfect result that, okay, there are no such account over there. So accuracy is again a plus point on this new agent with this type of connectivity, which is again a good one. Let me ask some more thing like, okay, how many high valued customers are there? Okay, so I'm just asking like this, how many high valued customer? Okay, and let's see what it come up with. And let's see. It says that, okay, you have 17 high valued customer. Okay, and it give you the reference link as well for the view where you can check it that out. I mean, it is good that moving forward in the future, it also come up with some sort of query string kind of parameter and it only show that results data over here rather than we manually filtering it. I'm really hoping for that in the future, but yeah, still it's a very good result. Pretty much impressed with that. So this is good. I'm not verifying this again. I'm trusting now. Okay. And then let me ask some more difficult question to it. Like, okay, customer names whose bank balance is more than 50,000. Okay. So I'm just asking like this, just a natural language question like this. Okay. Customer names whose bank balance is more than 50K. Okay. Let's see what it come up with. Okay. So it is giving this information. The customers with bank balance exceeding $50,000 are Jack Blue, Uma Green, and Vera Blue, which is fair enough, right? It looks really impressive. It just gives the summary as well. You don't need to read through the thing. And even from here, you can check out that balances as well. So three customer it find that out. Okay. So you see for Vera Blue, it's around 90,000. Okay. Uma Green, it's around 80,000. Okay. And then it gives one more name, which we need to check. Maybe on the next page, which name it was. Jack Blue. Let's see. Jack Blue. I go back to the page. Jack. Okay, Jack Blue, 60,000. Right? So perfect result. And see, how it calculated is like, okay, it doesn't matter like how your values are stored into your dataverse. You just ask in a natural language 50K. I just use that kind of term and give me exact perfect result. Right? So it's really impressive. And let me just ask more question related to the same context. Okay, three customer, but give me some details. Okay, so let me ask some more thing like, okay, who are those customers? Send me the summary. Okay, let's see what it come up with. Let's see. Taking some time to answer. And yes, it answers like this. And it is showing that okay, you have three customers with bank balance exceeding 50,000. Jack Blue has an inactive account with a balance of this. Uma Green also has an inactive account with this. Vera Blue have active account with this one. So it at least gives some more detailing over here. Now I can also ask that exclude inactive account and give me the final result. Okay, and it will answer you that as well. Okay, so it's conversational. So whatever your previous thing is that based on that as well, you can do that conversation. Let's say I want to ask something like, okay, my customer ID is this. Give me its account balance and account opening date. Okay, let me ask this. For 26 number of customer, I want the details. Okay, so I'm just asking this and let's see what it come up as a result. And here I am. See, it's just saying that, okay, your balance is 4,000 and your account was opening on 9th of October 2021. So it is becoming more precise as well, like what to answer or what not to. Okay, so that's all about this Dataverse integrated chatbot or Dataverse integrated agent with the Copilot. Okay, now that's pretty much it I wanted to cover up for today's class. And specifically, if I talk about the final licensing at this moment, these are not updated from Ignite. I'm not sure because I haven't go through all the Ignite updates because of so many things. And if I focus one module, I just feeling like I just miss another module. So I did not go through everyone. But what licensing I know before Ignite, it was this. Like Copilot Studio is come up as a tenant level licensing where it is around 25,000 messages you will get. over there, or any non-generative AI messages, it occupy one message from it, and for any AI generated answer, it considered two messages from this overall credit. Similar, like you know how you have the AI builder licensing, similar kind of this you have. Okay, so it's like a tenant level capacity which can be your entire tenant level, and it's just like, okay, when users are consuming it from this credit, it can be it can just deduct that particular credit over there. Okay, so that's the licensing at this moment. And yes, a Copilot Studio user license is also required to author the bot with the Copilot Studio. So basically, it's a capacity, and on top of that, like Copilot Studio user license is also needed in order to start with that. So that's pretty much it about overall Copilot Studio, which I wanted to cover in an hour. I mean, it's a very basic thing. At least, hopefully, it will help you at least to get started with. Right. So yeah, with this, I would like to hand over the stage to maybe Golak, and yeah, feel free to ask me if you have any question or anything over here.
Thank you, Dhruvin. Actually, it is really helpful, the demo and all the things you provide. I think there is only one question, then we will hand over to Sanjeev sir. Sanjeev sir, are you there?
Yes, Golak. In
Yes,
fact,
perfect,
actually, I do have
perfect.
a couple questions, if you don't mind.
Okay.
Okay.
It,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Great.
Golak, but I thought you had a
Yeah.
question, right?
Yeah, maybe I will just call out. Maybe Erhan, if you are typing something, rather you open up your mic to ask the question. We have 5 minutes. I think that's fair enough. Let's move. Then we'll move to Sanjeev sir. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe Dhruvin, one question you can see in the chat. Pawan asked
Okay.
actually. Which is the best option out of the below for 30 users and 3 Dataverse environment, dev, SIT, and prod? Option 1, Copilot Studio is in grounded with Dataverse stable data. Option 2, use Copilot in Dataverse.
Okay. I don't see that question.
कौन
Can you
बनेगा
please?
करोड़पति?
It's a very tricky question. Okay. Can you just repeat the
Yeah.
question? Sorry, I'm not just following. So,
Yeah. What he is saying, which is the best option out of below for 30 users and 3 Dataverse environments? One is dev
okay.
environment, SIT, prod. And option one
Okay.
is Copilot Studio Agent grounded with Dataverse stable data. Option two, use Copilot in Dataverse.
Okay, I see. Use
Mm.
Copilot in Dataverse. But Copilot in Dataverse is like more like developer option. It's not like a general option where you can, because
Yeah,
it's like more developer friendly. So
correct.
yeah, ideally the in that case the first option would be the best option to choose with, because if you're only developer and you want to utilize that capability, then probably it will more helpful to you on that part. Otherwise, yes, you need to build this kind of bot on top or agent on top of that.
Mm. I
And
think
and
I
if
think
I may,
Pawan.
if I may
Yeah,
add to that, one of the things about using the Copilot Studio is that you can form an end-to-end solution, right?
Correct.
So here, what Dhruvin, it was fantastic, and huge shout out. I know you had a clogged nose, I suppose. Even then, you've actually come in, and
yeah,
it looks
correct.
like you had a cold, or you have a cold or something. So
Yes,
thank you
Yeah.
very
yes,
much.
yes.
But the amazing thing here is, with a click of a button, you were actually able to use models that people used to
Exactly.
spend years training and then to get these results. Of course, it's in its infancy, and the more you train on it, the better it gets. But the thing is, I mean, think about it, right? You're doing like an HR, leave management, training management, whatever solution. So now, as a developer, you can combine various different data sources, like how Dhruvin did. Over and beyond that, you have your Power Automate. So you can actually go directly, let us say, to blob stores, store, images over there, send it to like, your OpenAI, bring it back, and then like surface it within your, Copilot. So those sort of things basically open up compared to, as Dhruvin was saying, having